Hey, I'm Sensei Federico. We're going to do Mantis and Whirling Mantis. All right, let's start with Mantis. So when you think of like a mantis or like a praying mantis, you think of like on your toes. So Mantis starts like this. I step, I come up, flex, and block, and cat. So first thing is I step and I get on my toes. One. Now I'm going to grab with my right hand. I'm going to kick an eye strike. At the same time, I'm going to land, check, and spear him. When you do technique from the side, remember that that side is now your front. So don't do the technique with like, oh, this is the front. This is no longer the front. When someone punches you from the side, that side becomes your front, which means everything turns to that side and your attention is all there. So make sure, a big thing is you step, we cat. The reason you step is think if someone came from the side to you, first thing you do is step, like turn. The next thing you do is like, all right, now I gotta move away from it. So what am I gonna do? Boom. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick my hand up. I'm gonna pick the hand up that's closest because this left hand is almost like out of frame. So I do the first part, one. All right, now I grab, I'm gonna kick, at the same time I'm gonna eye strike. When you kick someone, they do this. All right, even if you don't hit them, they do this. If you do hit them, they do this. If you don't hit them, they do this. Because when a kick comes that way, you have two options. You either get hit, and that's gonna bring you back, or you don't get hit by moving out of the way. So one, I'm gonna kick, and then my eye strike is the furthest strike I can do with my upper hand. So instead of just throwing a punch, my eye strike is the furthest. If they get closer, I can always heel palm, I can half fist, I can vertical fist, I can heel palm. They do any one of those strikes, but first round we're saying this is the furthest. Kick, eye strike. Now what happens is I'm gonna land. When I land, this hand's gonna check, and you're gonna spear. All right, let me get my lovely assistant. Sit by Jesse.
Hello.
You're very lovely today. All right, here we go. So we do Mantis. So it starts like this. So he does the punch from the side. If you're just starting this technique, you'd always do it with a grab. So a great thing is, with a lot of the techniques, you can do a grab and make the same technique work the same way. So even if some people are like, well, how do I release the grab? I'll show you really easily. Oh, when I do that, that's gonna release the grab. And if it doesn't, look, if I do this and I throw the kick and it doesn't, it's okay, hold on. And he doesn't release the grab, it actually just makes the whole technique easier. Because look, I don't even have to worry about checking him into it. So again, if you're beginning, you can always start with grabs on a lot of techniques. It makes it easier. Then as you feel more comfortable, then you can go, oh, light hand, oh, make sure, always look at your opponent. Don't ever do that. I have a mirror in front of me so I can kind of cheat. So I grab him, now look, he's a little far. So if I want, I could always do like a chicken kick, pop, pop, land. And now I'm gonna check the arm. It's not chicken kick technique. Meaning I'm gonna pull it down and I'm gonna spear. And if you notice, that makes our universal block. So let's kind of backtrack because I hope I didn't confuse anybody. So Mantis, it's a punch, I step, I look first, I grab, I'm gonna kick, and now look, he's so far away, but look, I can still get my eye strike in there. Now from there, this is gonna check. A check is making sure it stays where it is, but I can also make it like a strike. Hit this down, and at the same time, that's gonna pull him down, and I have my spear. If I didn't want my spear, I could always do like an uppercut, right? I could turn it into a vertical fist, right? I could roll it into a forearm. I can do a whole bunch of things, but this is kind of the setting stage. Just like when you throw a front kick, you can bring it here, but then you can also change it to a side kick or a roundhouse. This, I can turn to anything. Anything that comes out straight, I can just turn, right? 1, 2, 3, right? All different ways, 4, 5. You have all different. So that's Mantis. Now we're gonna go into Whirling Mantis. So Whirling Mantis, you can do it with me. So Whirling Mantis is this. This is a really cool technique. You step up left foot, and you do extended outward scimitar blocks. So your right hand comes out, your left hand comes behind you. So you can almost think I'm going in this direction, and punch comes, boom, the hand comes up. My other hand becomes my high chamber. So 1. Now I'm gonna cat across and chamber. Boom. So I go 1, my next thing is 2, I turn to change angles, then I'm gonna kick, and I'm gonna eagle sweep. Same time. Same concept as before. Kicking and striking at the same time gives me the option, one or the other, to hit. Don't worry about hitting everyone with everything. A lot of times you're gonna miss, but putting it there sets the stage for the next strike or for the next movement. So again, we step up, extend outward scimitar. This is just a cool technique. 1. Now we turn, cat, boom, eagle's beak and front kick. One bad habit that I do that I don't want you to have is look at what you're doing. So I tend to maybe look at my students or I'm looking at the camera, but when you do it, let's see if I can do a good example, is I should be looking 1, 2, 3 at everything I'm doing and focusing on. I'll show you a good example is if you don't look at what you're doing, you're like, that doesn't look right because I don't really know where I am. But make sure that you step, you focus on your block, extended outward scimitar, turning cat, and you look at your inward block, you check your chamber, you check your cat stance, everything should feel nice and comfortable. Kick and strike, and that's technique. So that's Whirling Mantis. And this was Mantis. So we got Mantis and Whirling Mantis. I'm Sensei Federico. That's Senpai Jesse. Give it a shot.